Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the PTP podcast. Hello, Mayor. How you doing? What's up, Duppy? Zombie 5, how are you? 33 Ohio, welcome to you. And I guess that's all we got here so far. Um, Hello, Sherry Pittsburgh. Good evening. Um, yeah, I don't have much to as way of structure for tonight. I just wanted to come on and hang out because I'm bored. I'm just literally bored. My throat actually feels okay. And Puddin' Hollow, good evening. How you doing? And I figure if I keep my voice low enough, and everybody can hear me, I hope, um, we can have a nice, fun discussion in the chat. I actually had a good day today. Mayor, I did have a good day. Went out to lunch with Mrs. PTP. Did a little bit of shopping. Um, oh shit, it's Genghis over there on YouTube's. How you doing? Um, Went to Walmart, which is always fun. Squirt Brat, good evening. How are you? Thank you so much. Um, went and got myself some more V-neck T-shirts, um, different colors, different color ones, because I like wearing the V-neck T-shirts now. Thank you, Zombie. Um, you got me addicted to them. And the funny thing is my mom, for many years, every time I would go see my mom, she always would go like this to my neck and say, "Why don't you get a lower cut shirt? It looks like you're strangling yourself." And I never did it until Zombie 5 sent me a bunch of V-necks. Um, Now I went out and bought, I think, 6 more today. Yeah, it's I hey Foxy Lady, Band Mom, how you doing? Um, you know what it is? I think I've learned now not to push myself as hard as I used to. Um, and I'm starting to get the hang of it now. What's up, Jim Bob? Good evening. How you doing? Crazy Chuck. Oh, I wear them every day, Zombie. Um, Matter of fact, I have some in the wash right now. um, yeah, I mean it's just comfortable as hell, and I wear them when I sleep at night, so it's just comfortable. Eyes cry not. How are you? Welcome. I know I should always listen to my mom. I miss my mom so much, and I think about her every day. And all the things that I should have done when she was alive, but you can't really dwell on that stuff because it'll kill you. Observe and learn. How are you doing? Welcome. So I hope everybody had a good day today. Um, I even got some new socks, which I desperately needed some new socks. But I don't like wearing socks more than a couple of times for some reason. I don't know why I'm picky like that. Hello, shop girl. Good evening. Um, Press the red pill, please, and thank you. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jim Bob, I thought it was a pretty good show last night. Um, we had a lot of in-depth discussions about stuff. We had Salty Nuts on. We had the regular crew, Warrior Spaz and Reverend Rant and Salty. We had a good show last night, I think. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, Eyes Cry Not. I don't even wait that long. Usually I wash them maybe once, and then I just get new ones. They're like, oh, my camera's blurry. Hold on. What happened to my camera? I think it's because I moved my head in so far. There we go. I get like the 12 pack, or no, it's a 15 pack at Walmart, and they're not the good expensive socks. They're just regular little cheap socks, and they're like $8. So I just find my old ones, and I chuck them or use them for a rag for the kitchen or whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah, but I like clean socks. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those fetish things. What can you say? Oh, so I'm glad you enjoyed it, Zombie. I had a good time last night. I enjoy doing the shows on Thursdays and Tuesdays a lot. Those guys that we talk to always get an argument out of them one way or another, and that makes it fun. It makes it interesting. Especially with Salty Nuts, he has so many different strange viewpoints. Why not, Randy? Why can't I clean counters and stuff with them? It's not like I'm taking them off my feet and doing it. They get washed before I throw them out. Yeah, they are, Mayor. They're a bunch of good guys, and always have the difference of opinion is what makes it fun. At least in my opinion. I like arguing with people. Well, not as much arguing, but Anyway, and as a matter of fact, I think they're all doing shows right now. I don't know. I didn't really see much of what was going on in the news today, except for what do you call it? The whole thing about the fake videos, whatever they called them, the cheap fakes, or they made up some new media term, cheap fakes or whatever it is. That's the way it is, Scorprat. What's up, Spaz? Facts, not fear. How you doing? I understand completely. I'm still burping up lunch. It was very, very good. Lunch was very good. Oh, cheap fakes? Is that what they call it? Yeah, They're trying so hard. They're so desperate that it actually comes off as you can smell it. You can smell their desperation. Um, we understand that when the G7 was going on and Joe Biden was with the leaders of the world there, and he was supposed to follow the protocol. He wasn't supposed to turn around and wander off and talk to somebody else. He was supposed to stay with the people who are talking to the guy with the parachute because that's where the photo op was. And that's the problem, is that nobody faked that. That was real. It happened. You know, everything that he's doing, it's real. It's not fake. It's not edited. It's not deceptively edited. They're worried about now about Joe Biden being taken out of context. Hey, P-Quest, welcome. Thank you for the cookie. Cookies! You know, they're worried. Even that little Brian Stelter guy, person, was talking about it. Sherry, thank you for the cookie. Cookies! And saying that, they're taking Joe Biden out of context. Well, how does that feel? Because everything that you did to Donald Trump, you cherry picked and edited and deceptively edited to make it sound bad, right? They're still using, there was fine people on both sides from the Charlottesville thing and calling Donald Trump a white supremacist. But that was deceptively edited. And you didn't hear the whole speech, the whole thing that he said. So, what's good for the goose is good for the chicken. Presidential duties. What's up, impeach them all? Yeah, Mayor, that's exactly right. The mainstream media now is telling you don't even believe what you see anymore. It was before, don't believe what you hear. The economy is great. Everything is doing fine. We created 15 million jobs. Don't believe what everybody else is telling you. This is what's going on, right? Don't believe don't believe what you see. I'm not falling for it, and I don't think anybody else is either. Hello, Lisa Believe. Yeah, I don't think anybody else is falling for it. But they're trying. They're really, really trying. Mayor, I'm not even sure if the debate is going to take place. I really am not. I think there's like 10 days till the debate. 7 or 8 or 10. I don't know, something like that. I don't know if it's even going to take place. They're taking Joe Biden out of rotation for 10 days. He's going on vacation to do debate prep at Camp David. I don't even know if it's going to take place. Because we can't hear. Donald Trump's microphone is going to be turned off. Hello, Daily Insanity. Doesn't mean that Trump is going to not rattle him. They're going to be sitting right next to each other, supposedly, because it's a sit-down debate. It's not a standing debate because, of course, Joe Biden can't stand for 90 minutes. But, yeah, could you imagine, Spaz, if Hillary walked in there? That would be funny as hell. I'm not going to say I would be surprised, but I would be. I'd be surprised if it happened. I really would be. And I'm not one of them conspiracy theorist dudes. You know that. But they might false flag something here. Just to get out of it. because like I said, Donald Trump is going to be able to still get at Joe Biden, still rattle him while he's talking. So whether Joe is going to be able to process that or not, I doubt it. I really doubt it. Well, yeah, Jim, it was supposed to be. But I heard this morning that they agreed to a sit down. Hello, Pam, ma'am. They don't think that Biden can stand up for 90 minutes. I mean, they know that Donald Trump can. Every rally that he does, it's like 2 hours long. So they know he can, but they don't think that Biden can stand up for that long. So they agreed to a sit down. God, Foxy Lady, I hope not. I really, really hope not. At least it's not Michelle Obama. You know, we don't want Michelle Obama. Anyway, they wouldn't do it because they'd have to check the background. And I don't think they want to open up that can of the dicks or worms or whatever it's called. Hello, Cindy Duff. So wait, if this is a sit down, then how can they successfully mute out the other guy from speaking? That's what I was saying, Ice Cry. Not Donald Trump is going to be sitting close enough to him where he can still rattle him. And I think that's a worry. That's a problem. Because even though his microphone is turned off to us, he's sitting so close enough to where Biden's going to hear him. I don't know how they're going to do that. What's up, Joyce? I lost my voice about a week ago. Believe it or not, it's much better than it was. It was really bad last week. I couldn't hardly speak at all, but it's getting better. Thank you for that picture, Duppy. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think too many restrictions is absolutely right. And I think that they thought that Donald Trump was going to back out because of the restrictions. And he's like, I'll show up. Whatever you want to do. You want to swing on a trapeze? I'll debate him. Thank you, Joyce. Just eye contact. Trump should bring flashcards to hold up with the phrases like, he's lying, laptop, big guy. That would be fun. Just, that would be funny as hell. Yeah, that would be funny. But Trump be like, oh, God, he's lying again. He's lying. He's lying. And you know what's even funnier is that these people in the media they're trying to take his so-called accomplishments, and they know that the jobs numbers are bullshit. In California, what was it this morning? I saw it. It was a news clip I saw on an Instagram reel. Since they implemented the $20 an hour fast food thing, there has been a spike in unemployment claims, like 16,000 unemployment claims for that were terminated. So the people are what's up, Oil Man? Welcome. If I didn't thank you for the PayPal the other day, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I don't think I've seen you since then, but thank you. So, his policies, the Democrat policies, aren't shit, and it's funny watching the media try to extrapolate them into something good. Like I said, you can smell how desperate they are, and then throwing the cover to Joe Biden. There's nothing you're going to be able to do to cover him for this debate. Nothing. I don't care how much debate prep you do. He's just not. He's not going to be. It's not going to happen for him. I don't know. But I didn't really catch too much of what was going on today in the news. I saw a little bit of Drunk Pinata's show, and I saw a little bit of Woke Society's show. Yeah, it's just it's almost embarrassing to watch these people. Blah 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 blah. That's what I'm thinking, Jim Bob. Something's going to happen where they're going to have to cancel the debate. Something overseas where the president has to be in the Situation Room, or some weird shit like that. Maybe Joe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I saw Putin's already in North Korea, and now they're worried about Putin giving the North Koreans the technology for intercontinental ballistic missiles, like they don't have it already. Just more fear porn from the mainstream media, in my opinion. Yeah, Mayor, he might be all juiced up, but if you noticed, that juice only lasts about 15, 20 minutes, and then he starts to stutter and stammer and talk about Bo. He was a Civil War veteran. He was fought at Gettysburg. Don't talk about my son Bo. He's a Gettysburg veteran. He kind of loses his shit there after about 15 minutes. And also, Jim Bob, there are no opening statements. There aren't. You know how they get like 3 minutes to do an opening statement? There aren't going to be any opening statements. So they don't even trust him to do an opening statement because he's going to screw it up. Oh, you hear? If anything, and it does take place, it's going to be hella interesting. Because I remember watching the first Trump Hillary debate, and that was like history. That was one of the best things I ever saw. So regardless of if it takes place, regardless of how it goes, it's going to be fun. Anyway, I figure if Spaz is here, we can talk about the Jews, because that's, I think, Spaz's favorite subject, if I'm not mistaken. There he is. Oh, I agree with that. Um, the only thing that they're going to tell Biden to say, oh, you were impeached twice. You're a convicted felon. You're impeached. You're a convicted felon. That's the only thing that they're gonna advise him on. Jim Bob, you're probably right. It's going to be like a multiple choice questions for him. I'm sorry, Spads. You didn't want to talk about Jews. Oh man, I saw you in Salty's chat this morning. That was before we left and did anything. You're funny, man. You know, to tell you the honest to God's truth, I don't even have any interest in what's going on in Gaza, what's going on in Israel. I have zero interest in it. Maybe because the last few days I haven't really looked at what's going on, but it's so fucking predictable that it's boring. It's boring to report on because it's so predictable of what's happening. I don't know. I listened to this podcast of this lady who was an anti-Trumper, who was saying that Trump was responsible, or Trump didn't do anything when Vladimir Putin took over the Crimea. That Trump didn't do anything when there was the war started in Syria. The civil war started in Syria. She was so anti-Trump that she was just making shit up. And when I went in there and said, well, Trump didn't even say he was running for president when Vladimir Putin took over the Crimea. That was in 2014. He didn't announce he was running for president until 2015. And I got deleted. I got deleted from the live stream. Vinita, thank you for the cookie. Cookies! Welcome. Well, Jim Bob, I did see that they like IDF, what was it, 8 or maybe 18, I don't know what it was killed yesterday or the day before in Rafah. That the Hamas fighters in southeastern Rafah have their shit together, and they're doing damage over there. So yeah, who knows? Who knows? Yeah, people on TikTok so desperately want to be anti-Trump. And if you come at them with correct information, instead of debating you about it or admitting that they're wrong, they just delete you. And I can't even tell you how many podcasts I've been deleted off of because Um, One of the other things was when they said, well, Joe Biden capped insulin at $35 um, per month. And I'm like, well, not really, because Donald Trump did it in 2017. Um, I said, you can go back and research it yourself. Um, Donald Trump did it first. He wrote an executive order, and he capped insulin from Medicare and Medi-Cal, Medicare, and the other one there that they have in 2017, and then I get deleted because it doesn't fit their narrative. What's up, salty nuts? Oh, that's true. They just call you names. Um, that's and like you said, I call balls and strikes. If Trump did something bad, I'll call it out. I got no loyalty to the guy. He's just a man like everybody else. But when you're so deranged that you have to make shit up um, in order to make a dime on TikTok because that's how they're paying you. Um, there ain't there. I got no respect for that. And by the way, salty nuts, I just can't get into that guy. Um, that guy that you were watching this morning. I can't get into him. Um, he contradicts a lot of shit um, about stuff. He plays a lot of videos, but contradicts a lot of stuff. And hey, mermaid, thank you for the can, sweetie. Appreciate that. Good to see you. Um, Matter of fact, hey, Salty, you want to come up on the show? Because I got some questions for you um, about that. How many people want to talk about religion? We'll talk a little bit about religion um, because I got some questions about. I don't remember the guy's name. Let me know if you want to come up, and I'll send you a link, and I'll ask you a couple of questions because I listened this morning for a minute, um, and I wasn't convinced about what this guy was talking about because there's a lot of other factors um, that I think he overlooked. Okay, hold on one second. Oh, I put it in the chat. It's in the chat. You just copy and paste it. Spaz, you can come up too if you want. Um, Voice your opinion. Is Mez here? Mez, if you're here, say hello. Mm. Anyway, I'll just wait for these guys to come up. yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Hey, I got green hair.
What's going on?
Yeah, I heard what you said. He's not for everybody. And so what do you think he was contradicting of what you were watching?
Okay, so when he had excuse me, when he had those guys on those videos,
Okay.
and had the rabbis
Yeah.
talking about the Talmud, and how that's to follow that religion, that Christianity was based on Judaism. Now, did you see what I put in the chat? The only comment I put in there was if right, Christianity or that the Vatican holds more wealth and power than the entire country of Israel.
Well, isn't Catholicism another offshoot of Judaism?
No, actually not.
You don't believe so?
Because the Talmud is based on what? It's based on the Old Testament. Basically the 10 Commandments.
Most all of the Bibles are pretty much
Right.
a replica of the Old Testament.
But the thing is that the Talmud is written as they go.
You notice that, huh?
Oh yeah, it's written as they go. So you can make up whatever you want to make up. You can basically.
You can put a Trump chapter in there. That's their plan.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So when this guy was talking about, how Judaism was something that was back from God knows how long, back from far away, and Jesus was a Jew, and this, that, and the other thing, and then only until after he was supposedly killed did he become a Messiah, and then was rejected. But then he was talking like there was nothing to back that up.
Actually, what he mentioned on that clip that you're referring to, because I had to watch it like 2 or 3 times before deciding to air it on a place called Foxhole. So It's not very popular when you start kicking crap at religions. It's not.
Well, no, I mean it's why we're here. You know, we're here to talk about whatever
Right,
we want to talk about.
And I'm not Mr. Know-it-all. I'm as I play these, sometimes I'm watching and learning and disseminating as well. So, I'm sure bounce some questions off me. I hope I remember the answer. I know how I feel about everything, but I am not settled on. It's like when I prefaced my show this morning, I told everybody I used to be this yesterday. Now I'm this today. I don't know what I'll be tomorrow. And I think that's true.
Your mind is open to it.
Yeah.
And I do understand that. And I mean, I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
But my problem is with the people that are trying to make that are making the arguments. They're not very well thought out arguments.
Well, if he missed a beat and he went against something that differently, either challenge that with him, or inside your head, discount that as a bit of knowledge that he knows, and then learn from what he does know. Isn't that how we do things?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is basically these rabbis, and I'm not saying it's the host of the show. He's just regurgitating what these people are saying.
Yeah.
But the rabbis that were saying that the Jews made Jesus up, that the Jews pretty much created Christianity because it's written in the Talmud.
Right.
Okay.
Well, on that one, the way I would suggest treating that one is, if they believe it, then it becomes important. And until then, religion had no, when I was threatened with Hillary maybe winning, I had no inclinations that I'd ever look at a Bible differently. None. I didn't know. But here we are. And why? Because they believe. I could give a shit about a red cow. I don't give 2 fucks, but somebody does. And that's important because they have power. So I have to pay attention to that. And the dots that he's connecting are pretty profound, and I can't ignore them.
Thank you, Mermaid. But that's where I had my issue, is some of the dots that these people were connecting to nowhere.
Okay.
He's only basing his observations on the Christian Bible. There are hundreds and hundreds of books that were left out of the Bible.
Oh, okay.
Right? There were thousands of accounts of people that wrote down what they saw when Jesus walked the earth that were never got put into the Bible from the Council of Nicaea.
Okay.
Right? So they're discounting all of that information.
All right.
And then because they think that the Talmud is what is the be all end all of God.
Right. But if me and you can't produce those missing books, then how can we convince somebody who calls themselves your average everyday Christian? Wouldn't you want to then impress upon them this missing information? Because if they don't have access to that, and what they have access to is what we see in front of us, then this debate becomes important, whether or not Israel is in control of pretty much navigating the script of everything that we're doing. That's where I find the importance of it. Like I said, I don't know what I'm going to find tomorrow. I'm not,
right.
When I started down this path, it started like with Salty Cracker. I was energized. And for that time, that was healthy for me because I felt I wasn't alone anymore. And so I felt included in the hatred for what our government was doing. And I progressed and progressed and progressed. And I'm not done. I'll be the first to admit that. I am not done. But I'm very excited to learn how deceptive people can be. That's people in power. We have given them far too much power, and their deceptiveness is pointed right at us always. And it's just an incredible amount of deception.
But don't you think that there's too much focus on Judaism as the cause of everything that ails the world?
Until the needle points me in a direction that's more solidified, that do connect as many dots, I'm, like I said, in this day, in this time, I'm here now. And until I see dots get connected more realistically, without any other elements to it, whether it's an emotional response or a common societal norm, until the actual facts come at me in a structural connectable form, then I can't really weigh in on anything else at the time. I'm sorry. I just like I said, I'm only here for now. This is where I'm at.
Okay, so what's more important, the Torah or the Talmud?
Unknown. Unknown. I got a funky feeling that they've been writing in that thing whenever it suits their needs, whenever they got a direction to change, and it's happened in many Bibles that way. It gets switched around and added to. It's similar to our Constitution if you look at it in that light. 9/11 happens, you lose all your freedoms. Now it's all different. Constitution's still the same, but we're operating under a different level now.
Yes, that's true. Right, that's true. But the Christian Bible, after the Third Council of Nicaea, has never changed. The only thing that's changed is there's three different kinds of Christianity. There's Catholicism, there's Orthodox, and there's Christianity. And the only thing that's different when it comes to the books that you study is the words, meaning they don't use these and thous and those, those type of old school words in the new versions of the Bible.
Yeah,
like
there's
the Catholic Bibles. That's it.
I went to breakfast with a full-on Jew this morning, and you know him. His name's Batman, and I had a good time. And if he were a Mormon, same good time. So I'm not looking at the people, and I don't want to offend those people. I just want them to open their mind. And what else? If you flip to a channel, then going in that you could be wasting your time, or you could possibly learn something. If you want to come in just to fling a booger at me, I'm down with that too.
Absolutely.
It's what you do with your time is your choice. And if you can connect some dots, if something makes you think, hey, wait a minute, I am a powerful person. I am capable. I don't need X, Y, and Z to get me through every single day. The Islam's that's some fucking dedication. Those guys are down 5 times a day on the clock. I mean, those people are dedicated. All right. You want some dedication? We may not agree with what they're doing, but that is some serial dedication.
Yep. So
it just doesn't matter who you have breakfast with, what book they read from. And I tried to explain yesterday on my show that we're all wanting the same thing. The outcome does not change. The desired outcome does not change. Leave us alone. We can live and manage our own lives without all the corporate bullshit, without all that government structure. We don't need that. We'd rather do without it. Leave us alone. We want to just love our family and have some babies. No different. So it doesn't matter if you're Presbyterian or pagan, or as long as you're not a flat out satanic, that's looking to grab my nutsack.
Right. That's a whole different story.
Then I'll have breakfast with you. It's going to be fine.
Yeah. I don't know about you. I don't know if you follow news as much as I do. Because you don't do shows like I do.
I get clips. Yeah. It just seems to keep repeating itself time and time again.
But what's going on right now, and I think the last maybe 20 years in the world is all about religion. I mean, everything.
I don't like that, but it is. And I'm sorry, but if that's what, going back to my rule of thumb, if it's important to them, then we too better pay attention to why it's important to them. Like I said, I don't care about no red cow. I never should have, but all of a sudden I find myself looking at where Polaris is while not looking at the eclipse and checking my calendar on the red cow. What the fuck? I thought I was supposed to just vote and go back to work.
Seems like it doesn't work out that way.
No, we're in trying times, and I'm looking. Consider what I'm doing, kind of like a break away from the mainstream, because you got to admit the mainstream alternative media is not really that much better than the mainstream media. It's not.
No.
It doesn't lift my skirt up anymore.
I'm tending to stay away from the salty crackers, the Tim Pools.
It's like a bad game of badminton.
Yeah, because like you said in the beginning, it was a whole different story with those guys. Once the checks started to come in, everything's changed.
Yeah, when you start, putting on getting a mortgage on a house and stuff, and your video camera is your bread and butter.
That's right.
You're susceptible to change.
Exactly.
And I'm not. You're not. I mean, it's just we're doing what we can. We're doing what we can.
Yeah.
To people options to look at things, and I'm not all knowing. I hope nobody ever thinks that I am. I do. I take pride in the amount of time I put into something, but I don't have a memory bank like an elephant or a computer chip for a brain, and I can't come off and report everything. So I replay it, and I let you guys be your own memory banks. What do you want to get out of this? You pick what you like, you pick what you don't.
Right.
And I don't mean to step on people's religion, because Adam Green will do that. He will take Jesus, call it a myth, take God, call it a myth. And if that makes you not like him, if that fuels you, then your faith isn't as strong as you think. If that guy, if somebody on a screen can piss you off that much.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree. But it's not that he's testing my faith. That's not it at all.
He's inaccurate is what you're saying.
He's not very accurate on what he's saying, because
on some of it, you got to give him credit. He's well studied. On some things, he's not.
Oh, absolutely.
He's not.
Yeah, he doesn't come off as ignorant at all. But like you said, you can go online and research books left out of the Bible and read them. They're online. You're not going to be able to go into the archives of, say, the Vatican or under the Chancellery in Berlin and find those things and read them. But they are online. And there's a lot of people who wrote a lot of gospels that they left out of the Bible.
It's in current modern day, it's so tainted that people get to make a fucking choice on a whim. Not even enough time to put on a different t-shirt to show their brand.
Yeah.
But if somebody upsets them, they literally choose in the back of their mind within a millisecond whether they're going to eye for an eye it or turn the other cheek. Yep. So I think I'm doing pretty good. Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right.
They literally don't take the time. We're almost, a lot of us are becoming more like angry monkeys that just respond. We just react. And I'm like, man, you got 24 hours left. This is what you want to do right now. This is it. That's your t-shirt.
You can't argue with that, because you see it every day.
Yeah. Every
day you see it every day. Jim Bob up there said that this has been a spiritual war. And I have to agree with that.
Yeah.
Who's that? Red Gun says there's 10 books that were rejected by the Council of Nicaea. Yeah, I'm sure that at least 10.
I ask silly questions. I ask really, 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 really weird, strange questions that are childlike in mentality. I'll ask, did Jesus Christ ever put pen to paper? Do we have that?
No.
Okay.
Not that we know of.
Since the first knowledge of Jesus Christ came 75 to 80 years roughly after his death, who knew him well enough to transcribe his thoughts, let alone his words?
Well,
on that basis, it gives me a little leeway to accept other possibilities of history. Whether I become accurate or not, that's ultimately the goal. But like I said, I'm here today. Yesterday I was there, and tomorrow I'm going to be over there. Mm-hmm. And I'm just growing. I'm just learning. And when something smells like a fish, you get a whiff of that, and you're like, that don't smell right, Mm-hmm. And then when something acts and walks and talks like a duck, well, you call it out,
Where did you get the information that it was 70 years after the death?
That's a documented historical fact on there was no writings of him until 75, 80 years after. Then there became scripture. And when who was it? See, I don't remember the names, but what I think Paul said he knew him as who was the other guy, David or whatever, as David knew him. And one of them admitted that they only knew him through writings of scripture. and through visions.
You mean the
So-
Apostle Paul?
Yeah. So there was no actual handshakes, arm shakes. Hey, thanks for doing all that cool shit. Feed all them people with your fake fish or whatever. There was none of that chumming around. There was no Polaroids taking pictures of him riding through Jerusalem on the side straddling a donkey. None. There was scriptures of it, and so it leaves room to ask who wrote those scriptures and when. And it comes to be that it was 75, 80 years after. I'm not saying all you guys that are believing in Jesus are wrong. I'm just saying, hey, I'm investigating, I'm researching, I'm learning. It's exciting because what I learned prior to being interested in learning was what people wanted me to learn. And so I'm a little bit of a rebel, and I don't want to be filled with only things that other people wanted me to know.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's perfectly fine. Just like
Trust me, I only had 4 viewers on my last show. I'm not really going to rock a boat here.
Yeah. And this is where like we can get into a friendly argument. I think, like what Albus just wrote in there is what I knew.
You should see my chat when that happens, and I'm telling them I so appreciate you guys being so nice to one another because this is a really hot topic. It pushes buttons fast.
It does.
And it's because so-and-so knows this, and so-and-so is going to say, no, it was this. And see there, look, it just now happened, just like that. Read Albus and now read Nova X. And you'll see right there in live time, these people will do this, and I was thanking them because they did it respectfully. Now, I don't know one way or the other for a fact because I'm only echoing what I heard and watched. Okay. But when dots line up, I'm like, this is interesting. This is, because it now is connected to politics, as you stated.
Yeah.
So
I think they're definitely intertwined.
Yeah, they are. And when people get that it's not just an ink pen to paper on a checkbox, red or blue, what's your pick, when it's no longer just that, and it's now how you raise your kids. If you raise your kids, does the state step in? Well, who'd you vote for? Why did you do that? If all they did is X, Y, and Z after they promised to do A, B, and C. So there's a whole lot to this. We're still in the beginning phases. You know that, right? We still got a long way to go.
What's up, Warrior? I'm pretty sure we do.
Yeah. We got a long fight ahead of us. And so I'm not out there, with this black cloud, the sky is falling. The sky is falling. You better go get saved now,
No, but there's a lot of people that are.
I know. I just want them to calm down and laugh a little. I always end my show with that Q-tarded squirter thing that Owen Benjamin made. You got to admit, you laughed. You fucking laughed.
It's funny. See, now when it comes to actual scripture, and I don't know how you can how you can be reliable on that stuff, but carbon dating the scriptures that they found in Jerusalem, carbon dating the scriptures that they found in Egypt, because Red Gun, thank you for the can. The things like that. See, remember in the Bible, it doesn't say where Jesus was from age 13 to 33. We know that at 30 or 32. We know at 33 he came back to Jerusalem.
Okay.
But the middle of that time, from the time he was like 14 to 32, he was traveling all around the Middle East, particularly Egypt, and preaching the word of the one true Father and all that stuff like that. and they found scriptures there. They found scriptures in caves, things like that carbon dated back over 2,000 years.
Maybe I hope one day in this in our next lifetime, whatever that be, that we get this instant burst of knowledge and we get to know everything that we wanted to know, and even those that we didn't ever think to ask. I hope, because this current polarized environment that we're in right now has driven us to ask more questions about the stupidest things.
And I think that was the whole point. Right? It's the whole point.
Yeah, we're like, okay, does milk now have metal in it? Why are they killing the chickens? And it's like, okay, we're all over the board now. We're really, really all over the board. We're having to cover so many, and they're just creating more chaos for us. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I feel pretty good. Yeah.
Did you check Amazon for that throat coat stuff?
It's in my cart. It's in my cart.
It'll get shipped quickly. It's good. I had some after talking about it with you last night, and it gave me a lot of relief. That throat, it takes a while to heal.
Yeah. I wasn't even going to do a live stream today, but I was sitting there and I was just like, I'm bored. I want to talk to people.
Yeah, no, it's this. Oh, I've seen so many people come out, whether it's like as big as Russell Brand or Steven Crowder, Ben Shapiro, and all those guys, and they say, for the most part, what we are either entertained about or what we want to hear, and then they make it to the big time, and then when you ask, why are you leaving out this part that I saw some little guy talking about? Why are you leaving? Because that was pretty big, that's, like Lahaina, blue rooftops, direct energy weapons and zero coverage, it was a down the power line. So when they stop informing us on that, we got places like Foxhole, and, it's not perfect. It's not. We're just doing what we can. And so I'm not always hitting them out of the park. But
by the way, just to let Spaz know, the fires that started here in California, we got some pretty bad fires here.
That kind of happens. It's a yearly thing.
Well, nope, they're from Jewish space lasers.
Oh, no, yeah. I thought shit.
Yeah. I just want to let Spaz know it's the Jews, Spaz, the space lasers. Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
man.
Yeah. I mean, I can go outside. I can smell the smoke.
I did bust Batman's balls for being Jewish today. You know how me and him, I know him well, so we joke all the time.
Yeah.
We were as each other, and so I wanted to treat them, so it was my card that was going to pay for the meals, and he says, "You want me to get the tip?" I'm like, "Nah, I know how hard letting go of that quarter is going to be for you."
Oh God, that's funny as hell.
He just shook his head like this, like fucking salty.
Yeah.
And Subpack Bet's like, "Oh my God, he just said that." I know how difficult letting go of that quarter is going to be for you.
It's true. And Jim Bob, I think you're absolutely right. Once we go to heaven, all those questions will no longer be important. No.
Yeah, the theological
space lasers.
The theological discussions really do intrigue me because they send you off thinking to it's like, who made the rules? Like, if you step on an ant, it's dead and gone. There's no heaven for that ant. Oh, and then you look hold on, you look a little deeper into it, and didn't they have structure? Didn't they have morals? Didn't they have a life? Didn't they have communication? Didn't they have a tribal reliance upon one another? Don't they serve a purpose on this earth? Healthy, natural. So who made that rule? And then my dog as a kid, when I learned what death was as a kid, my dog died. St. Bernard, loved him, poor cracker. But he turned over and his stomach didn't, and that's a wrap. So I learned that he was never coming back, that I would never get to play with him again. And I'm like, well, is he going to go to heaven? And I was told, no, he's not. I'm like, that's not very fair. Why am I being punished? Because somebody made those rules. And so at an early age, I'm like, why would this guy be so great and set a set of rules like this where dogs don't go to heaven?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe their own heaven, if that's what you want to think or whatever. But there's a structured set of rules when you are taught things that other people want you to be taught that seemed a little off to me, and it didn't seem fair. And if this is so loving, done out of all love, and he loves you no matter what and will forgive you, why did he take my dog away? Why did he, why don't I get to see my dog? So it drove questions in me, and they've always been there for me. I've always had some faith, but mostly questions, and I don't think I'll ever get the answers to them. So I'm just being the best me I can, trying to keep.
No. I mean, a lot of people are in your position, especially nowadays. I mean, we question, like Warrior said, asking questions is his favorite pastime, one of his favorite activities. I have a show called That's a Great Question podcast because we love to ask questions. And I think in today's society, it's more important now than ever. If we need to question these things, we can do it amongst friends and have intelligent conversations and have disagreements. But at the end of the day, know that we're all in it together.
Yes,
whatever the outcome is, you know what I mean?
Well, my question would be why did our world turn into a place where these pastors that need their own private jet airplanes get to read from books written by flawed men to set a set rules for an entire culture, many cultures that are harmful rules, things that make you sad, things that make you gloomy, things that give you despair. There are statements that I don't agree with in life. The fear of God. Why would you make a statement like that? I'll put the fear of God into you. Why would you fear God? Why would you fear him? Because is he watching? Is he like Santa? Has he got a list? Am I being monitored? I mean, I thought that was Siri's or OK Google's job. I thought that was Facebook's job.
I never agreed with to fear God.
Yeah, I
fear God.
Yeah, I don't like that, and being told that as a kid that I gotta take this cracker from this pedophile in a robe or I'm gonna burn in hell. Sorry, I did. Some things just didn't click with me. Maybe I'm a rebel or something. I just wanted my free donut. Fuck off. Leave me alone, you pedo.
Yeah.
Go snuff your own candle.
It's just like I was raised a Catholic.
A
Roman Catholic. And it took me quite a few years to realize what the Catholic Church was. And I no longer follow the Catholic Church. But it still hasn't shaken my faith.
There may have been a time, not one I experienced, there may have been a time where there was a religion and there was a church and its compass was pointed in a pure direction.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that in any church or in any organized religion anymore. I don't believe that it has got good intent for all mankind. I just can't. And I'm not going to turn around and think that somebody out there is better than me or worse than me. I'm not going to be driven to that. And it seems, if you want to become racist, then choose which Bible you read. That's a fucked up scenario.
Yes.
You know?
Or organized religion is it's a for-profit organization. That's it.
Yeah, and people claiming to be this, that, and the other is just like, oh God, not again.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta buy you guys.
In the Bible, does God say that you have to pay a toll to worship?
Don't worship. He tells you to don't worship any man. And so what's the first thing Trump does is puts himself up there with a picture of Jesus, and fucking here you go, Instagram.
Yeah. I think he does that shit just to get people to talk. But I mean, anybody that has a brain cell and a ripple up there doesn't think of Trump as anything appointed by God. He's a politician like everybody else. But
when somebody's near death,
exactly, Mermaid.
When somebody's near death and they send in a pasture, you know, that scenario that's being played out right there is, I don't know. It's really kind of a cop out. Like, why the fuck didn't you do this earlier, you idiot? If that's what you want, you should have lived that way. Why?
No.
You know, now this preacher's going to come in and ask God to let you in despite your sins and ease your pain and let you in when you could have lived that way. You could have lived your life that way.
Is.
Huh?
That's not what the last rites are.
Well, anyway, you get what I'm saying, because there's a whole lot. People get afraid when their life is threatened, or they think they're gonna, just do their final signature, and they turn to that, and it's like,
yeah,
maybe you should have lived that way a little bit. I don't know, at where I'm at today, which I keep going back to because I don't want to be called something a month down the road. Oh, you believed this, or you believe that, or I know who you are. No, you don't, because I'll change tomorrow. I'll grow. I'll learn. I'll adapt. But it just seems like so many people could live the way they want to live, and know that they can get in. I've just tried to be really good. I've done a lot of horrendous, bad stuff in my life, but I'm not letting it stop me from going on being good tomorrow, because carrying that with you, thinking that the only way I can get rid of that is to ask somebody else to take it away. Some people believe that you can take a chicken by its legs and whack it up against a dumpster and abolish it and be washed clean of all that right there. There's the blood of the lamb. There's this, there's all sorts of different ways to be forgiven. And that to me, that's kind of a cop out, because then you're just going to be, oh, wow, that was easy. You got one of those little Staples red buttons that says that was easy.
Yeah.
Let's just go out and fucking be a pedophile or something, or snort some cocaine, and I'll just come back here and just kill another chicken. I'm good to go.
It's like when, people will say, sorry, I gotta take my pill. Hitler did all of that bad stuff, but before he pulled the trigger or whatever, he asked God for forgiveness. Does Hitler get to go to heaven because he repented at the last minute?
I don't know. I want my dog.
Mrs. Blondie. Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
There's somebody that wrote up a set of rules that I don't think really are should be in play, that you can do this and you can do that, because people lean on them and they cherry pick from them. They're like, what if I came out and said, hey, I got this 12-year-old girlfriend, Salty, you're 57 years old, what are you doing? Well, Mary was 12. So they literally cherry pick that kind of shit, to justify. And I don't think they should be reading anything. I think they should go get some structure in their fucking life. Get some fucking structure.
I would say so. Um,
You know, because if I got caught talking to a 12-year-old in that manner, I want somebody to beat the fuck out of me because I want my
hold
structure.
on a second. Back 3,000 years ago, that was acceptable.
Yeah. Well, we're not in 3,000 years ago, are we?
No,
Because
I'm just saying.
the last thing you stole, you didn't get your hand chopped off either.
And that's true.
So
That is very true.
times change. You know, we have a lot of better things and morals that we can cling to now and be proud of. But there's a little degeneracy going on here. That
A little bit. Yeah. Just a little bit. And most of it is going on with our elected leaders.
you'll find it in your stickers. I ban them from my chat. You'll find people shaking tits and ass. And I appreciate my stance on that is I appreciate in an artful way the human female body. It is adorable. It really is. I mean, I'm a guy. I'll go there with that. But there's a time and place for everything, I believe. And when inundated with it all day long, you know, and instead of a smiley face or a thumbs up or a cute cat hissing at you in a sticker, you really think I want to see some boobs shaking?
Yeah.
You fucking degenerate. You know, there's plenty of Jewish sites I can go to and get that stuff. Pornhub, there you go.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
just-
Hey, Pam.
you know, for some people, it doesn't affect them negatively like that, and they find it comical or funny or whatever. I'm a little bit on the offended side, but that doesn't matter because you don't wake up with leprosy when you're offended. So I'll get over it.
Yeah.
He says, "I agree. I'm out." What happened there? Did I chase one off?
Ask for forgiveness.
No, it's good to see people knowing that, you know, that it takes themselves to become better versions of themselves. You know, the reliance upon organizations and stuff like that. Is yesterday, and I'm good to see that. You know, I'm glad to see that change. That people know that they can put their own pants on anymore. You know.
Yeah, well, I think I think everybody would agree that organized religion is something that's a thing of the past.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping.
But I'm going to tell you something right now. The power of prayer works. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
I honestly do believe that because I've felt and seen things in my life that I can't. Nor would I want to, but I can't argue it. But maybe, you know, its source is something different. Maybe this out there in the ether, when so many entities are focused on your well-being, maybe there's something to that. We don't know what God is. You've never seen him, and nor have I. So it's a matter of being able to accurately pinpoint what it is that's there. And none of us can. So we believe in the closest and most accurate moral direction that we can possibly fathom. And I still got questions for that.
There's a lot of them. There is a lot of them.
Yeah,
but I'm thankful. I'm extremely thankful that we can have this many people here talking about this type of subject, and people have different opinions. Thank you, Pam. I appreciate it.
Check your DMs. They may have requested that you throw me off, or they're never going to watch you again. There's that possibility.
I mean, I don't think so because why wouldn't you be allowed to have your opinion on something? Right?
I was kind of being sarcastic in a joke, you know.
Oh no, I understand. But you know what? You're not far off because that has happened to me before. And
was it me? Was it me? Say it was me. Say it was
no. And my thing was, if you know, you can always hit that back button.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to be here. I mean, we talk about all kinds of stuff here,
Yeah.
and read the disclaimer going across the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
That's the way that it is. And I don't want to offend anybody. I don't think you want to offend anybody, but
Yeah.
sometimes, like you said, people they go in their corner, and I like to talk about it all.
Well, way back when I think I was
Thank you, Mermaid.
about 18 years old. I lived in Orange County, California. I owned a Commodore 64.
Hey, Judy.
I ran a bulletin board system called Swampland in Orange County.
Mm.
I had a good friend. His name's Bill. He passed away, but he worked at Rockwell International, and there was many of his aspects of work he could not talk to me about. And now I understand why. They're building weapons and yada yada. But he was a coder, and I knew a little bit of BASIC, and I was intrigued. I wanted to learn more and more and more.
Thank you.
And between he and a graphics guy I met, we built this really bitchin', super popular bulletin board in Orange County on the Commodore 64. And it actually got a newspaper person to come in a van and interview me at my door. And I was like, I didn't know what to think. So I just told them all what it was and stuff like that. And I didn't get on TV news, but I got on the, what was it? I forget the name of the paper out there, but it wasn't front page, but it was in there. And I'm like, that's something. I created this. I did this bulletin board system. And I had, I was just intrigued. And so I went on and on and on with more learning. And I'm like, and I look back on it later as I had a child already. And I look back on that time and what happened. And I recounted everything that happened and wrapped it all up into one thing. I did something. I chose to create something good, and I worked hard at it, and I succeeded, and anybody can.
Sure.
And it doesn't, you don't need all the other things, all the dots connected. You can just be a better you. You can do this. We don't need all this other stuff. You don't need to be living a chaotic life, confused about shit you can't change.
That's right. I agree with that. The bee lady. I lost my voice. It's getting better though. Thank you for asking.
Red Gun knows it. Computes Gazette right there. Remember in the back of that magazine, Red Gun, how they had tiny MLX code? Like the back third of the book was nothing but machine language code that you could type in, or you can spend a little money and buy the data set. Well, I always typed it in, and I made these games. Any of that stuff.
My Q clearance, believe it or not, was through Rockwell International.
Oh yeah?
I lived down the block from Rockwell, literally one block away from Rockwell.
Yeah, that was some crazy times, but
that was back in the 80s.
It's that event in my life set me on a course and told me that I can do this because I did that, and that was big, and everybody liked it. Nobody didn't like it. Everybody liked it. It was popular, and I did that. And I'm like, okay, that means I could do more. And it inspired me to do more. And then I went into life coaching, and you could never imagine me life coaching, right?
No.
But it was like about 13 to 17 grand a head, and I was pulling it in, and I was doing pretty good, getting some good clients, obviously from different countries. But you don't try and fix an American, just fuck.
Yeah.
But
that'll never happen.
It was some fun time.
I think I'm gonna wrap this up for tonight. I can't talk anymore.
All right, buddy.
We did go an hour and a half. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, good, nice.
And I want to thank everybody in the chat. They had some great questions. People were nobody was getting angry, especially when you talk about religion. So I appreciate everybody in the chats, and in all the chats actually, because I got my YouTube, my D Live, and X going there too. So, all right,
Yeah.
brother, thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks a lot, Pete. I'm glad you came out again.
Yeah.
I will talk to you later. Have a great evening. Go get you some rest.
I'm going to right now. I'm going to. I'm going to drink some tea first.
Yeah.
I'm going to
a
drink
little bit of tea. Real, and don't be afraid to let a little of that stuff get down the old swallow section.
Yep.
All right, buddy.
Let it run around. All right, Brian. Thanks a lot. Later. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. I didn't expect to go in that direction, but I'm kind of glad I did. It's always fun to have a guest on, and I like I said, I appreciate everything that you guys do. Jim Bob, some great questions. Appreciate it. And everybody with the gold pills, the red pills, the blue pills, or any donations, my Cash App is right here. I appreciate that very, very much. Every little bit right now helps out. So, Beach Bum and Mermaid, sweetheart, love you. Thank you so much for moderating and throwing those links up there. I appreciate you in more ways that you know. And I think about you and pray for you every day. I'm going to go get some rest. Like I said, I'm going to make myself a cup of tea, get some rest, and hopefully maybe tomorrow I can do a morning show. I doubt it, but maybe I will definitely be back tomorrow night. I know that for a fact. Thank you for the cookie, Salty. All right, guys. Mystery 20. Much love to you too. I will see everybody Thursday night for sure for the Thursday night throwdown. So I hope I see everybody there. Till then, have a great rest of your Wednesday. Good night.